This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, Don't mistake the new me for the old me. They can't stop me now, I'm with the home team. No beginner, I'm a winner. Took a couple losses, now I'm cooking, let me simmer. Yeah, tunnel vision, all I see is win, 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 win. This my city section where you been. We move faster alone, but go further together. We can weather any weather forever. A dream team, I done seen things. Confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team out here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, Forget the things you probably thought you knew. A new day is approaching, turn the gray skies into blue. I grew up on these same blocks, school of hard knocks. Had to get it on a hard top, took the hard shots, but we made it. Anticipated, highly decorated. The home team is winning, celebrated. The victory is all mine, and everything is alright. And you know how to see things, confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team out here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like,
All right, what's up, everybody? Good afternoon, man. Welcome to Spike Kool-Aid for Friday, the 20th of February, 2026. Can y'all believe? Check it out. Not only are we a week away from the combine, we are almost seven weeks removed from the Lions' last game, and we are less than 3 weeks away, or a little more. Let me see, maybe 3 weeks away from free agency. 1, 2, 3. No, we are less than 3 weeks away from free agency. The tampering period begins on, I want to say, Sunday, the 8th of March. So, man, what a off season it is so far, man. I have been chilling, watching the Pistons. Did not get to see them last night. I actually was out doing a little bit of Uber Eats yesterday. So I did not get to see the Pistons, and I'm mad about it because Kate put on a show. New York fans are crying. So, yeah, it was a good day. I think I'm going to go out and do some Uber every other week, man. I got bored of staying in the house, bro. It felt good to kind of get out the house. I haven't known what day it is. Like, yo, man, when you in the house a lot, you're like, yo, what day is it? Shout out to Pepper, Braylon, Brandon. We got Gritty. What up, what up? What up, Gibbs? What's good with you, man? Hoon, what's up, what's up? What's the small fish, Brad? DoorDash dad is back. Man, bro, you missed a great game. Man, dude, look. So I got a new, man, I forgot my watch. My watch is, so I went and got a new Apple Watch. I'm telling my wife we was going to get one. So I got me, my son, and her one. And so so I have ESPN notifications on. And ESPN will notify me like 10 minutes before the game. And it'll notify, it'll put it like, there's a banner on my phone that stays there the entire game. And that banner goes to my watch. So I'm like, man, I'm watching the game, or I'm looking at my phone, and I'm like, dang, bro, Pistons putting on a show, man. So I heard K went off, and Durant is back, right? Is he back? But yeah. What's up, Gibbs? Yeah, it has been a while, man. Lori says I used to do Instacart since I've been working from home since 2022. You know what, Lori? So let me tell you a brief story. So in 2019, I was driving a school bus, and there was a situation a change in my family, and I couldn't drive the bus anymore because I had to do something for my kid. So that required me to find another source of income. So this is like early YouTube days, right? So DoorDash was it was here, but it wasn't really here, right? It wasn't really popping. So I started doing Instacart, and then I'm like, I got to go shopping for these people. Nah, you know what I'm saying? So DoorDash, I saw that, and I was like, so all I got to do is pick up food, drop it off, or what? I think they were just doing food at the time. They weren't doing alcohol. They weren't doing pet stuff, or going to GameStop or whatever it is, Best Buy, none of that stuff. And then I started doing that, and then that led to me signing up. So for the longest, I only did DoorDash because Uber Eats, it was and that's where Fave is talking about DoorDash Dad. So I created a channel it was during the pandemic. I created a channel called DoorDash Dad, and it was quite popular. I got to 11,000 subscribers over there. I deleted that channel. I deleted that. It got to 11,000 subscribers, man. I deleted the channel because I knew that I wasn't going to be doing it for that long, and also I just didn't like what the space had become. It's weird, man, because I feel like Don Cornelius kind of like he had a hard time adapting to what the world had become. I feel like that with YouTube, man. It is definitely something. It's a completely different space, and I think like you have to always. It's pure at first, and then it becomes oversaturated and watered down. You know what I mean? So, but I went out there, man, made $100. So it was cool. It was cool, man. It felt good to kind of be out of the house, because like when you work from home, you have to like find a reason to leave the house, right? So and now there's no games or anything going on, so there's no real reason for me to go unless I have to do something like I stay at Meijer. Meijer is my second home. I'm at Meijer every other day. Like, it's crazy, man. So matter of fact, I got to go today and get some of these Vive shots, man, these little tonic shots that I've been taking. I swear they've been working. But and when I did get sick on them, it lasted for like 2 or 3 days. So I've been taking these. They're expensive, man. It's like $13 for 4 shots, man. But what happened was last summer I ordered like a month of Factor, and one of the 2 free add-ons was these shots, man. And I used to kill them mugs. Like, as soon as I open the box, I just boom. The Factor ones are really, really good, but the Vive ones are solid as well. We swept those bums. Yeah, that's what I heard. What's up, Jake? What's good with you, man? Bond says, Braylon says he'll be back. What's up, Ronald? What's up? During back next game. Okay, I thought so. It was the Raptors, and then it was the break, and then it was the Knicks yesterday. Yeah, I need to get out there of the house more, since I do it like once every 2 weeks. Now here's the crazy part. So I don't know how accurate the Apple Watches are when it comes to calories, right? So I'll go into the fitness app. So we opened them. I bought them earlier last week, and they had to come in. So they're 42 millimeter. And so I buy them, and they took like a week to come in. So they come in, so according to my Apple Watch, it said I burned 300 calories. I'm like, ain't no way. No, it said, yeah, 305. Ain't no way, bro. I know I move a lot, but it's no way I burned that many calories just moving yesterday. If so, then that would explain why I'm not bigger than I already am, because I drink a whole lot. Like, all I do is drink. That's it. Drink. There's always a drink in my hand. And also, I don't really eat too much, but I'm always moving. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so there's my life update. Have I ever been to Kalamazoo? I absolutely have. Myers, my first job, 2016, utility worker. Really? For real? Yeah, I stay at Meijer. I'm at Meijer every other day. So like literally, my wife was like, "You going to your second home?" So yeah, I stay at Meijer. So I mean, I couldn't imagine feeding a family of like 5, and the space in the freezer you need, and how often you're at the store. It's crazy, man. So anyway, I hope everybody's had a great week and is ready for the weekend. Again, it is already the 20th of February. One thing about being a YouTuber that kind of sucks is you get paid once a month, right? And if that day, so our payday this month falls on a Saturday or Sunday. If it falls on Saturday or Sunday, you have to wait to the next business day to do it. So like, for instance, if you get paid on, it's supposed to be the pay date, and the pay date is on a Saturday. You won't get it Saturday. You won't get it Sunday. And let's say that Monday, like last Monday was President's Day. So let's say that Monday. So let's say last weekend, you were supposed to get paid last weekend. If the pay date was a Friday, you're good. If the pay date is a Saturday, you have to wait until the next business day. If the next business day is a holiday, you have to wait to the next business day. So the holiday is not a business day. And so it would have been like 3 days. So that's like the biggest thing that sucks about. I actually had somebody email me. I don't know how true it is. They're trying to get me to sign up for like where you can get paid instantly. And I'm like, nah, I'm straight. Because I feel like they would have to, first of all, it sounds sketchy as ever. And then they would have to, like, no doubt tap into your AdSense, and that is not going to happen. So anyway, all right. So I think you guys know we need a Miami Dolphins channel. So I'm putting out the word that if any Miami Dolphins, we do have a monetized Dolphins channel that needs new hosts. So I'm on the lookout for those guys. Hopefully we get some new hosts before the season starts. I hate to let that channel just sit there and die. And of course, I'm not going to start creating content over there. Yeah. Let me see. At least you ain't chewing on Omaha steaks. Flint says currently at Meijer watching this. Oh man, I worked at Meijer for 10 years. Man, yeah, I love Meijer. Is that a bank or prepaid card? No, it's a bank. I'm not sure what that means, but no, the bank. So you have something called Google AdSense. And so for instance, look, how can I forget, man? I wanted to start the show. Yo, we hit 6,000 subscribers. I am so stoked, bro. We hit 6,000 subscribers yesterday. So the segment that I did on Max Crosby on Wednesday. So I release segments, the days that I'm off. So for instance, usually it is what I try to do is I try to do a show, and that show runs from an hour to however long, right? From that show, I get segments out of that show. From those segments, I post them. So we have Syndicate Sports Detroit, which is this channel. We have Syndicate Sports Detroit XL, which is a overflow of this channel. So if you ever see XL, yes, it is me. You will see my face. And when we start getting more content creators to talk different sports, I don't want to saturate this channel with all of those videos. So it'll be some on this channel. It'll be a lot. The live streams and stuff will happen on this channel. And then the segments will happen on this channel. And if we have too many segments, they'll overflow to that channel, right? So we hit 6,000. And most of this has been done by me, which is insane. It is insane. And we started, the thing that really took this channel to the next level was, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I did a video that went viral when Aiden Hutchinson, it was his rookie season when he intercepted Justin Fields. It was his first interception, I believe it was. And I made a video. It went viral, over 650,000 views or something, man. And it shot this channel. That's the reason this channel got monetized. And then from there, man, we had 6K, bro. So I feel I'm super excited. It's like when one door closes, another one opens. We lost the Miami Dolphins guys, but this channel hit 6K. So that Max Crosby video did almost 5,000 views, man, which is rare for that. Usually I average about 1,500 or somewhere around there. So it did good. This channel is growing faster than Lion Syndicate. It's crazy to me why that is. So I'm not sure why, but that's the way it is. Thank you, Braylon. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. What's my mock draft? King, I don't do mock drafts, man. I bring other people's mock drafts. To me, mock drafts are purely entertainment. I'm not doing it. There's a couple things I don't do. Mock drafts is one of them, and score predictions. I just think they're dumb. I think mock drafts are dumb. I just do, man, because you don't know. If you're the number one pick, that's pretty much all you know. You just don't know. So for me, they're entertaining. I'll bring in Daniel Jeremiah or Mel Kiper when Todd McShay, shout out to Todd McShay. He got his own YouTube channel, which is the new, everybody should have their own YouTube channel, Who Talk Sports. I used to do his. So it used to be Mel Kiper and him. And now I'll probably bring in Daniel Jeremiah. He had us drafting an edge at 17, TJ Parker. And I was like, ain't no way. Brad ain't taking no edge in the first round. The only reason we took Hutch is because he was there. Hutch fell to us. And listen, I'm going to tell you why Hutch was drafted. Hutch was drafted because he was the perfect Detroit Lion. It wasn't Hutch's skill. It wasn't that he was an edge rusher and we needed one. Hutch was drafted because he was the perfect Detroit Lion. motor, drive, work ethic, skill, the whole thing. I think talent was a bonus for Hutch. That was it. I saw a video where the Giants are listening to offers on Dexter Lawrence and Kayvon Thibodeau. Thank you. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. If you guys know what I'm trying to do, you know what I'm trying to do, and it is extremely. We are not going to be talking all Lions. I have some people I'm talking to, okay, and I'm not going to tell you who they are because we haven't buckled down the ins and outs yet. But it's going. I'll give you a hint. So it's going to be a 3-person show or a 3-person panel. It's not necessarily going to be a show, but it's going to bring a different dynamic. And these guys have their own channel. It's going to bring a different take because I'll give you a hint. They are all not Lions fans. So I'll give you that hint. And I reached out to them, man, quite a while ago. Things just aligned that we started talking about a partnership, and they might be on board, maybe making a segment a week. And I think you guys are going to find it interesting because it is definitely 3 different takes, completely different takes from 3 different fan base. But I will give you a hint. They are in the NFC North. All 3 of them are in the NFC North. So Michael says late to the show. Pistons whoop the Knicks every game. You know what I cannot wait to see? No. Shift. Not 60,000, 6,000. Look, I might be 50 before I hit that, man. Lions Syndicate, bro. I might retire before I hit 100K. It is crazy. It's great. You know what's funny to me too is that the biggest person in Detroit he can't stand on his own. He can't stand on. And if you take away live streams, he has no audience, which is, or what I've been seeing now. Like, I told you what I detest is sneaky good, good news, bad news, awesome news, good. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, this is where we are. This is where we are in this. And it's all, I'm going to keep it real, y'all. I feel like an old man. I think I'm one of the oldest guys in Detroit to be talking Detroit. Like, if you take away Woodward Sports, I am the oldest person. I'm 46-year-old. I'll be turning 47 this year. And I think that I am the oldest person. Like, so for me, a lot of the stuff that I see is nonsense. And I think that you guys are seeing it in my content, that my patience for not only the Lions, but what I'm watching, man, is gone. And I was told by a viewer of the channel that there is a particular content creator that you all know who he is. Okay. He will bring in my takes, but he won't say my name because he knows better than to say my name. He might text me or threaten me through text or something like that, but he won't say my name, but he'll use my takes. So if you hear somebody saying that if Brad Holmes resigns Marcus Davenport or cuts David Montgomery, that he should be fired, I am the only person who has said those 2 things. If you hear that take, obviously they watch me, but we've already established that, haven't we? So anyway, y'all, I didn't mean to bring drama on Friday. Okay. But like I told y'all, man, this is not all bubbles and rainbows. There is a thing that you guys see, and then there's stuff that goes on behind the scenes. It happens in every line of work. There's no running from it. But I have no filter. I have no chill. I'm tired. I feel like I'm getting old. I feel like that. You know what I'm saying? My body hurts. I'm just ready for this team to win. And I feel like that the word of 2026 is shenanigans. It's just too many of them. It is shenanigans with the Detroit Lions. I don't understand why. Like, I don't have all day. You know what I'm saying? There's a gentleman who passed away yesterday at 53 years old. I was looking at his birthday. It was the day after mine. He's 53 years old, or he was. I'm like, yo, I'm right there, right? So I don't have time for shenanigans anymore, and I'm ready for a winner. And I'm not going to settle for anything less than a winner. You know what I'm saying? And whatever I say, I'm going to stand on. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, okay. Right? That's where I am. I'm older than Doc. I didn't know that. How old is Doc? I have a bad feeling we will bring Davenport back. It's no way. There's no way. Hold on, Kelly. Hold on, I was trying to click. Kelly says, Being a Lions fan can age folks. I feel it too. You know what's crazy is ain't it though? If you go back and you look at Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, they look like they aged 10, 15 years. It's only been 5. It's only been 5. So I didn't know I was older than Doc only because of I think what he does. Ain't no way. I mean, you know what? So okay, Rail, I take that back. When I say oldest, I forgot about Doc because Doc is part of something bigger, right? So Doc is not independent. I don't think he is. Don't quote me on that. I could text him or DM on Twitter and see. I don't think he's independent. I think he, because he's with sports. So what I should have said was out of the independent crew. And maybe, you know what? I take that back. I believe, don't quote me, but I think Dan Thornton is in his 50s. I think he is. So maybe I'm wrong. And there's a couple guys. So I didn't mean I'm the oldest, but when I'm talking about like the people, I forgot about Dan and I forgot about Doc. So yeah, so I'm maybe like the 3rd or 4th oldest. I feel the oldest though. I guess that's it. Lane, what up though? I'm 19, starting to go bald. I blame the Lions. Flint Lions fan, listen, bro. I'm gonna say this and then we'll get into the show. PSA, all my fellas out there, do not ignore it. Unless you want to let it go fine. If you're trying to hold on to it like LTD, then do all the research you can. If you can take supplements, do that. DHT blockers, take all that stuff. Consult with your physician first, and then after you do all of that, take their advice. But look into some things, man, because I've been on a couple things for a couple years, man, trying to hold on to what I got. It stressed you out as well. You know what, Jay Brick? That's what I'm not going to let happen to me this year. And I think that's I feel free. You know what I'm saying? I feel free. But look. We were joking about bald Syndicate, but I started talking on YouTube on my original channel about hair loss. So anyway, I know somebody's like, what am I watching here? All right, so let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. If you are a member, we do members only live streams. Well, we started last week on Friday on Lions Syndicate. We're not going to do this Friday because I'm going to be out in the streets. It's Friday. It's windy here in Detroit. Hopefully it's some money sitting out there. But next week, the weeks I have my son, where I'm gonna be here. So I think what we'll do, and as long as I'm gonna go out there, because I don't know if I'm gonna do it in the summer. Usually ain't no money in the summer. Then we will do it. We'll have it on every other Friday. So we'll be on, and we can discuss that stuff if you want. It's not about Detroit. Like, we can talk about anything y'all want, man. Maybe I'll spill the tea about this YouTube drama mess, man. All right, so let's get into what you guys see on I can't believe 22 minutes. 22 minutes, man. We spent 22 minutes, but you know what? That's what I like about me is I'm like a regular dude. So sometimes we talk about regular things, man, and that's what happened. It is not all about football when it comes to me. All right. So you guys saw yesterday, and I thought that this was funny, that allegedly the Detroit Lions are doing, and this stuff irritates me now. Like, I used to be like, oh shoot, the Lions are doing their homework on offensive lineman free agents. And I'm like, so what does that mean? What does it mean that the Lions are doing their homework on free agents, on offensive lineman free agents? What does it mean, right? We've seen this before. We've heard this before. We've heard all of this stuff before. Let me pull up this. Is it here? Yes. Okay. All right, let me bring this up. Let me bring in the all right. So you guys all know by now the Lions are in a bit of a retool. Like, if you've been watching the team, but if you really were locked in, you saw this coming years ago. I myself saw it in 2023. The more you neglect something, the more you're going to have to pay for that something when you have to replace it. Your car, your anything mechanical, man, you're going to have to, the more you neglect it, it's gonna cost you more. Right? So, but if you were really locked in to the deficiencies of the team, you knew what the Lions were going to need. You knew that Taylor Decker, we still have no word from him yet, but you knew that his time is coming soon. You knew that every game you got from Frank Ragnow was a blessing. You knew that, right? So the Detroit Lions have done kind of mediocre stuff on the offensive line. There's a couple guys that look promising, have potential. Tate is one of those guys, played extremely well his rookie year, and he's probably going to be around for the foreseeable future, like quite a while. We've got Penei Sewell, but we have to really figure out what we're doing at center and if and when we're going to need a left tackle. What are we going to do? But allegedly, came out yesterday that the Detroit Lions are doing their homework on offensive line free agents. And it's we need a center. Tate is probably going to play guard. That was confirmed by, I think it was either Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell that said, no, we don't really see him playing center, which means that the Detroit Lions are probably going to get a center, right? It's either going to be in the draft or free agency. And the Lions doing their homework. We've heard this before. We've heard all of this before. It never pans out. Now, what I'm trying to hold out hope on is that in year 6 of a 7-year regime, as of right now, that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell realize the urgency of getting this team back and beyond where they were in 2023. Because if you go back and you take off the glasses, we have not been the same since 2023. 2024 looked good, but it really wasn't. Defense still sucked. Record offense was winning us games. And the moment, if you go back and you look at the 2024 season, if the offense floundered in any way, the games were a struggle. And we might need the defense to step up one time to put the offense in a position to go down and win the game, right? We saw it with the Houston Texans. We saw now Jared Goff had a horrendous game, the game against the Washington Commanders. Okay, we know that. But either way it goes, the offense was still the key to winning. And in order for that to continue, we're going to need an offensive line. So this individual here, I think I made a video about him on this channel about whether I was probably one of the first guys to talk about him and to really bring it to light. And that is Tyler Linderbaum. He is probably one of the top 3 free agents out there. You have Trey Hendrickson, you have a couple other guys, and you got Tyler, and he's going to be top tier. And I wonder, does the Lions doing their homework on offensive line free agents include him? Because this would be a guy, and it's amazing that the Baltimore Ravens did not pick up his 5th-year option. But for this guy to be the number 1 center that's available in free agency, I'm kind of confused as to why the Ravens decided to do that. But they decided not to pick up his 5th-year option, and he's now going to be a free agent. And as far as I know, they're not going to tag him. But I want to know, is the due diligence, is the homework on offensive linemen, even if it's not Tyler, is it going to translate to one of these guys signing with the team, right? We made some decent moves in free agency. We brought in Kevin Zeitler a few years ago. We bought Graham back, and now it's time to move on. And we lost Kevin free agency last year. Are the Detroit Lions serious? How serious is that homework? How much is that homework going to translate into an actual move? Because this guy is not going to be cheap. We've already looked at his market value. It's something I don't see Brad Holmes paying. I just don't. We don't even have the money right now. We have to create that money, and that's going to come. So I guess we're going to have to start there. But Dave Burkett brought in a quote from Daniel Jeremiah. I want y'all to check this out. This is coming from Dave Burkett's Twitter account. Says, I love my job, says Daniel Jeremiah, but if I could switch jobs for just the next couple of months, I'd want to be Tyler Linderbaum's agent because everybody that I talk to seems to be in on Tyler Linderbaum. So it sounds like he's going to have a robust market. A robust market. So basically, there's going to be a lot of teams that are fighting for his services. If I'm Brad Holmes, he's at the top of my list. And you know me, I'm an edge guy. I'm like edge. But I understand the priority of the offensive line. Of course, I knew that already, but I got to see it firsthand last year. If the offensive line is in shambles, then our team is going to be in shambles. Our quarterback is going to be in shambles. And we need Jared Goff. Jared Goff is a surgeon in the pocket. He needs his workmates. He needs his assistants, right? AKA the offensive line. He needs them passing him the scalpel so he can, cut him up. So I'm not sure what doing their homework will result in when it's all said and done. But I wonder if Tyler is going to end up a Detroit Lion. How, like, does Brad Holmes, because think about it. I said this before. The reason I don't think that Brad is going to turn it around in the time he has left currently is because he seems to not have his priorities in order. It doesn't seem like that. Is Brad Holmes, can the Detroit Lions turn it around if they're flawless in free agency, flawless in the draft? You made all the mistakes you can make leading up to year 6. You cannot make anymore. Now, if the Lions had 10 years, if Brad and Dan had 10 years and not 2, so if they had 5 years left and not 2, then maybe you can stumble a little bit. You can't stumble anymore. You cannot stumble because the Bears are getting better. The Packers got better, and they're probably going to get better. The Vikings are going to get better, and that's just in the division. So you have to keep the pressure on. So if Brad does something like this free agency is going to tell me everything I need to know. If we keep bringing back, like if we bring back Marcus Davenport or Graham or whatever, if we bring those guys back and we don't try to go out there and make legitimate changes, then nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. What Brad Holmes has done for the Detroit Lions has worked up until now. But as we heard, as we entered the offseason, you have to evolve. You have to evolve. Everyone has to evolve. I can't sit here and keep doing the same thing if people around me are evolving. It's how you lose your competitive edge. You have to stay evolving. So, do you think that the Detroit Lions are legitimately doing their homework on offensive linemen in free agency? Because I don't think these guys are going to be cheap. I think they're going to come with a decent price tag. And that's not something that Brad Holmes typically does in free agency. He's done it here, he's done it there, but it's something that he doesn't do often. He tries to find the most bargain deal possible. And that's when we had money. This is the first time that the Lions have been over the cap since he's been here. Well, since he's been legitimately here, not like year 1 or whatever. I don't remember what it was back then. But the Lions are in a position that they have to evolve. And is a guy like Tyler Linderbaum part of that evolving? Or is he going to continue to do what he's been doing? I think after last year, you have to see the urgency in a good offensive line. Not a okay one. We need a great offensive line, to be real with you, because the holes for Jahmyr Gibbs were not the same. I mean, he had some good games, right? Still got a bunch of yards, but the holes weren't there. David Montgomery, holes weren't there. So got to make it happen. I wonder how much homework is he really doing? All right, let me address the super chats, or super chats, I should say. Shout out to C. Pool with the super chat. Says, Brad's due diligence is studying injury reports for a bargain. Okay, let me ask y'all this. And you can be honest. How many of you do you think I've rubbed off on you? You know how, like, you become the company you keep? Do you think I have influenced you in any way? Because I hope I haven't. I don't think I've done this with C-Pool, but is there anybody in the comment section that legitimately feel that I've influenced you to feel the way that you're feeling? Or have you come to this on your own? Matthias got to start doing something different or he's going to be fired. What up, Raw? What's good with you, man? It says the 2022-3 Lions offseason was amazing. I don't know why Brad can't be like that every offseason. Okay, so Camille, yo, you already know why. Bro, do you listen? Do you watch the show? I know you watch the show, bro. Somebody put it in the comment section. Because you know this. This is your homework assignment. Your homework pop quiz. Why was the 2022-2023, why were those off seasons the best? Why were they the best? Somebody put it in the comment section. C-Pool says, you know I've been like this since day one. Yes, I know you have. You definitely made me open my eyes more for sure. I think what it is I'm not a slappy. I'm not a slappy. Like, it's not that I'm a pessimist. I'm just not a slappy. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy. I'm just like y'all. I am a fan of this team. That's what I am. A fan with a microphone. That's all. I'm nothing more. I'm just like you. Q Ball, what up, though? What's good with you, man? The Stafford picks. Thank you. Man. Thank you. So, you guys are smart. You guys are. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not. Don't let any of those YouTubers that have to steal from other people, and won't say their names, don't let those guys tell you ain't smart. Don't let those guys who they think they're the smartest people on YouTube think that or tell you you're not smart, because they'll try to do that, right? They'll try to do that. Okay? You guys are smart. You understand. But you know what? I didn't have to say anything because you saw it, right? You saw it. What only thing that I could say that maybe I've done is maybe I have pointed you or nudged you in a different direction. Okay, well, look at this. Because we were so caught up in, oh my God, Brad is the best. He's done. We sucked. Oh, Brad, we love you. Right? And now we're looking like, yo, no, Brad like that. He like that girl that looked good at first. And then you be like, oh, shoot. You see her in the light and be like, nah, I thought it was something else. Or the one you see with makeup on, then they don't have no makeup. And you be like, ooh, wow. Okay, that's what that is. Yeah, Mr. Lawsuit, I ain't got a cease and desist yet. But what happened was, see, I be trying to let this stuff. No, that's a lie. I be trying to like tuck it away, right? And then somebody text me, DM me on Twitter yesterday and said that somebody is saying out there that Marcus, that if Brad Holmes does these specific things, he should be fired. Those specific things is me. I'm the only person who said that if you sign Marcus Davenport and or cuts David Montgomery, I want you fired. I am the only person that said that I know of, okay? So who else you talking about, big dog? But again, those type of people like to hide behind a lot of what they say, and they do nothing. Let me see. Right now, I'm going to glaze. I'm not going to glaze Brad Holmes all day long. No GM is perfect, but Brad has to bring better talent. You know what, Raw? That's fair. And I agree. But if you are, okay, the Detroit Lions general manager, you have to be something special, because you have to do something that has never been done. I could not imagine the weight of that I would have if there are 15 other teams in your conference and you've never been to the Super Bowl. You're the only team. I can't imagine if the team is as old as my grandmother and your team and has never been to a Super Bowl. You have the oldest team in the NFL, right? Nope. So for me, gotta that's never been to a Super Bowl. That's what I mean. That's why I don't feel sorry for these guys. We have to deal with this. So should they. They don't get a pass because they're not fans of the team. You get paid more than I do for trying to get this team together, right? So I hear you. I agree with you. You don't have to be perfect, but because he messed up as much as he did, he's gonna have to be flawless. That's for sure. He's gonna have to be flawless. Let me see. I love Shep. Don't get me wrong, but just not right now. It's pathetic. It's pathetic the excuse people will make for this team. Rams promote to OC. Brad Holmes has to fix the holes on this roster. All right. Do you guys think he's going to do it? What do you see for the Lions next year? What do you see? Speaking of next year, let's address this. I saw this today and I wanted to talk about it. All right. So the Detroit Lions, after the draft, and maybe before that, I think it was probably before that, when we lost Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, the national media, beat writers and such, said that our team would probably miss the playoffs. And then after the draft, I feel like they doubled down on those thoughts that we would miss the playoffs. And we did. I don't think it was because of the coordinator losses. I truly don't believe that. Because if you really think about it, the Lions offense was still top 5. That's what it was. It might not have been as creative, But we got away from the run the same way we did with Ben Johnson. All right. So it would have been different if our offense was bottom 15 or fell out of the top 20, but we stayed in the top 5. So I don't think it was Ben Johnson. I also don't think it was Aaron Glenn, because I don't know about y'all, I just wasn't that impressed. He didn't really move the needle for me. He didn't. All right. But even with the things that I disliked about Aaron Glenn, one thing stayed true is that his talent, he was limited. His hands, to me, were always, he had one hand behind his back because of the talent on this team. Now, they're not going to tell you that. We will. We got guys at every level who can perform. We had Alex Anzalone, Jack Campbell. We've got Hutchinson. We had Aleem McNeil. We've got Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph. So you got guys, but the defense that we've seen winning, everybody's a factor. Everyone on the team is a factor, right? How many times can you win? And the reason that I put it on talent is because, to me, it all starts up front. If you cannot win with your front four, you're going to have to bring blitzes and a pass rush from the second level. That's going to create an opening right in the middle of the field. Then you're going to have your safeties, who are not built like linebackers most of the time, make tackles. They're your last line of defense, right? That's why I think we fell off a cliff. It's because, yes, did it hurt you losing both coordinators? Absolutely. Did it hurt enough to miss the playoffs? No, it didn't. Because we still had a top 5 offense. The defense is the constant. Always has been bad. Under Aaron Glenn, it was not top 15. Under Kelvin Shepard's first year, it was not top 15. So there's the constant. But according to Bleacher Report had the Detroit Lions listed as one team that would make the playoffs in 2026 after missing the playoffs in 2025. They also kind of put it on coordinators. Now, what do you think? Okay, that could be true. We got a last place schedule, which is essentially 3 games. We have 3 last place teams, like the Bears had 3 last place teams. And those teams could be why you make the playoffs. They could be. If you beat, because all you need to do is have a better record than another team. You have to have the 7 best records in your conference. But where I'm at is, how far are we going to go? See, we've already won the division, so we can check that off. We doubled up. Check it off. So what, we do that again? All right, so that'll be 3 times in 4 years. That's outstanding. So we host another playoff game. Let's say we win that one. So now we won a playoff game. So now that's 3 playoff games in 35 years that the Detroit Lions have won. Okay, cool. We can check that out. And it'll be at Ford Field. So we check that out. But what about after that? What about that divisional round? What about that conference round, the NFC Championship game? Are we able to get back there? Because for me, that is bare minimum. That is bare minimum. That is my expectation every single year, is to get there. So, but is that really the case? How can we say that the Detroit Lions are going to make the playoffs? Is it the last place schedule? Because that is the only reason. This team has gotten worse since the season has ended. Why? Subtraction and some addition, some neutral moves. The team is not better than it was. So how can we say that? It has to be the schedule. That's it. It has to be the schedule, because we have not done anything yet. Of course, it's free agency. Only thing we can do, or we're not there yet. So the only thing we can do is re-sign our own guys, which we haven't done. Why haven't we done that? We're still over the cap. We'll be over the cap. We haven't made any restructures. What are we waiting on? Free agency is in less than 3 weeks. That money has to be, we have to have it by then, or we're not signing nobody. So they have to get under the cap as soon as possible. Now, it's not officially in effect yet, but they've got to get under the cap. And by the time free agency actually starts, there's nobody left. There's nobody left. So I'm like, how are the Detroit Lions able to do you think they're going to make the playoffs? And so if they do, okay, get hot at the right time. It can happen. It can happen. Only reason the Texans made the playoffs is because of their defense. They had the number 1 defense in the league. The Lions had an opportunity in 2024 and 2023. And when we talk about Super Bowl windows, like, I'm not looking for a playoff window, y'all. That's not what okay, you need to get into the playoffs to make the Super Bowl. But I'm not looking for a playoff window. I mean, okay, so the Lions went 3 times under Matthew Stafford. 3 times. 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 3 We did not win any of those games. And I think that that's why we're so excited about Brad. And I know we got back to Holmes, but that's where this excitement is coming from. Because during Matthew Stafford's entire tenure, we made it 3 times. We never won a game. So we made the playoffs, and all of a sudden, as quiet as it's been, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have been here for 5 years. We've only made the playoffs twice. Now, we did substantial damage in those playoffs. Well, one of them. Think about this. If we really strip everything away, the only good year was really 2023. And I think we're still living off that high of, yay, we won that. We did so many firsts in 2023. We won the NFC North for the first time. We hosted a playoff game at Ford Field for the first time. We won a playoff game at Ford Field for the first time. We won a playoff game for the first time in 3 decades. I think that that's why that this fan base is so stuck on this regime. But so what if the Lions make the playoffs? The only thing that the playoffs stand for is making the Super Bowl. That's it. That's it. Making the playoffs is great, but winning the Super Bowl is the ultimate goal. So do you think that the Lions are going to? I don't know. I don't know the order of the schedule. I don't know. And right now, I mean, the way that this team is, they haven't gotten any better. They have not gotten any better. So let me know. I just don't know. I think to me, it's too early. It's too early, man. We say all these things. And one thing that 2025 and 2024 and 2023 has taught me is that you have to see it. That's where we're at. So until I see the Lions so I don't know what they're going to do. I have no idea. And if we want to rely on the fourth place schedule, okay, so that's 1 or 2. Lions won 1 to 2 more games. Then, I mean, if they beat the Packers one time, you know what I mean? Then, and didn't we get swept by the Vikings too? So if we beat the Packers or the Vikings, we're in the playoffs. So I don't know, man. I think it's a little too early. Yes, for the Lions to make the playoffs. We haven't even seen other teams get better yet. And believe you me, other teams are going to get better. Don't be surprised if the Bears trade for Max Crosby. They can make it happen. I believe that they will. That's a team I will look out for. The Dallas Cowboys, right? We know what they are, but they've been the best team in the NFL for 35 years. If you ask a Cowboy fan. So we'll see. But I think it's too early, and I don't think this is not me being pessimistic or negative. It's just me being real. I don't know what the Lions have given you, and if they do, so what? We make the 7th seed. So what? How many of the 7th seed make the Super Bowl? Now you understand why I was so mad last season. We had a gimme path to the Super Bowl, and we gave it up. So Lions making the playoffs, who cares? Who cares? It matters for one reason. And if they make the playoffs but can't go any further, does it really matter? I think I saw a super chat. All right, shout out to Bros Pros. What up, man? Long time no see. Says, me and a friend pondered this, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this idea. What if we fired Brad Holmes and gave general manager duties to Dan Campbell? That, you know what? You are this. First of all, thanks for the super chat. You are the second person this week to even mention that, which is crazy. All right. You know what I think is going to happen? What I think is going to happen is, and I'll answer that question in a minute. I want to get y'all real take. Be honest. You don't have to say what I want you to say or what you think. There's no wrong answer, but I want to get your honest take. I'm going to tell you mine. Early on, I believe that this regime was the regime. And part of me, there's still a piece of me that wants to believe that. And that piece of me is barely hanging on. And it will either survive or completely die May 1st of this year. If I don't see this team get better on paper, I'm not, that's going to be the end for me. But here's the part. Part of me feels, the majority of me feels like this ain't it. This ain't it. And it's not both of them. It's really one. That these two gentlemen are not it. Together, they're not it. That's what I'm starting to feel. And I think that this I didn't come to this conclusion overnight, guys. I didn't. You watch me crash out. You make fun of me crashing out. You come to the live streams to see me crash out. Those crash outs come from me wondering, what the heck is this team doing? What are you waiting on to get better? What are we doing? Right? When you have an opportunity and you blow it. I said this in Wednesday's show. I think that we lost the NFC Championship game. There's a lot of reasons, but one of those reasons was no pass rush. And yes, we sacked Brock Purdy. But when I say pass rush, I'm talking about getting to the quarterback when it matters. That's what I'm talking about. Sacking the quarterback when it matters. Look at what happened to Drake May. If you cause the quarterback to fumble, that is a sack, right? Even if the quarterback doesn't hit the ground, that is a sack. And I'm like, I don't know. Because the reason for that is, and I don't want to lose this super chat. The reason for that is for years, I'm like, okay, I'm holding off hope. Brad's gonna trade a first round pick, or he's gonna trade for this guy, or he sees what needs to be done. He's gonna trade to get it to make it happen, or he's gonna get aggressive. And I think the moment for me, it really was. It started with, like, in 2023. That's when it started to settle. Like, yo, this guy, because that was the second time. So we take Brod. I was okay with Hendon Hooker. Like, I wasn't bothered by that. I thought Hendon was a solid pick for where he was, and he would give us solid backup status. I wasn't like over the moon, but I wasn't mad about it. Broderick, I was upset about him. I was livid about Broderick. No, I'm sorry. Broderick, I wasn't bothered. I was just confused. But then I'm like, okay, that's when I think I started to lose trust in Brad Holmes, because not that I'm like, okay, I don't know Broderick, but they do. Okay, you drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. That was the same day that we traded away. No, that was the day before. The next day we traded DeAndre Swift. So, I was cool. And then we go through, and I'm like, okay, there's still no, like, where's our pass rush at? We get Brian Branch. We already got Kirby Joseph. I'm like, where's our pass rush at? You didn't do anything in free agency. And Broderick, that's why I'm so hard on Broderick, on the Broderick Martin trade, because you wasted opportunity. And it's not about, okay, what these guys turned out to be. It's about, okay, the opportunity. Who knows what a person would have done in a different setting? So the argument is, well, there's been no pass rusher to do anything that was drafted after Broderick, that the pass rushers drafted after Broderick or something have one sack. That's more than Broderick has to be picked ahead of them, right? Even as a DT. So then you go to 2024, and I'm like, where's our pass rush? And what do? You're like, okay, now this is coming off Emmanuel Mosley. You're like, all right, you go get Marcus Davenport. And the thing that kind of really, really, it's like, yo, so that year you signed DJ Reader and Marcus Davenport and Tim Patrick. And all three of those guys came off season-ending injuries. All three of them. Right? And it's like, dog, this is what we're doing? So then, okay, and what I believe is Broderick, what sold, and I think, and that's why I said I call him Kaiser Soze. Or, yes, because Kaiser Soze was a criminal, right? And so is Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes is robbing the Detroit Lions of their chance to win a Super Bowl. Verbal Kent was the disguise. And when you strip everything away, I think it was right there. It was right there. And now we're feeling some type of way because we're 2 years removed from the NFC Championship game. We have not won a playoff game since that moment. And overall, we have not gotten better as a team. If you really look at the Detroit Lions, the only reason, and I'm going to keep it a buck, I'm going to keep it a buck. Only reason Brad Holmes, maybe even Dan Campbell, are still employed by the Detroit Lions, my honest opinion, is because of the offense. The defense has not won us anything. If the offense was not what it was, and we don't have the most whatever point, yards, points, whatever, think about it. If the offense wasn't the offense, we're not winning games. And if we're not winning games, we're not making the playoffs. And if we're not making the playoffs, we're not making the Super Bowl. Think about what I'm saying, y'all. And I think that watching Brad Holmes, even Jamison Williams, like I was just like, okay, because I've been on defense for a while. Get this defense right. Jamison Williams turned out to be solid, and he's part of what makes the Detroit Lions win. But you cannot continue to ignore or do subpar things. You went all in on the offense. Now it's time to do that same thing to the defense. But the problem is, y'all, he doesn't have time. If I'm Sheila Hemp, he don't got time. Because this is not supposed to be personal, right? This is a business. You are brought here to bring me a winner. And that includes Dan Campbell. It does. I think Dan Campbell is the Detroit Lions. I think he is this version of the Detroit Lions. The version with their YouTube channel having over 300,000 subscribers. With this new iteration of Detroit. Nobody was talking grit before he got here. Not a single word, right? We was talking that other thing. It rhymes with grit when Matt Patricia was here. But I'm just like, so I'm starting to believe in my heart, this is not it. That this is not it. I just don't think, I want to say that they are. I want to believe that they are. I just don't know if they have time to fix it because of how they move. Do they have time with a perfect offseason? Yes, they got time. Because y'all going to feel some type of way if Chicago trades for Max Crosby. You're going to feel some type of way. And it's really going to make you look foolish. It's going to make you feel foolish. Because I know a lot of y'all feel like you got duped by Brad Holmes. I feel like that. I know a lot of you do too as well. But it's not me saying things. It's the fact that, see, I was saying them when we were winning. That's the difference. Is I was saying them when we were winning. I'm like, yo, this is not going to amount to anything. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So we got a couple things while they were, you know, we got an NFC North title. I'm grateful for that. Now you can never say we ain't never won a division. So it feels great to get that off our back. Yes, I will give them credit for that. It feels great. It feels great to say, okay, we won a playoff game. We hosted a playoff game at Ford Field. I feel great for that, right? So I'm starting to believe and this offseason is all it's going to take for me to be convinced. After this offseason, I'm going to know one way or another whether or not this is the team, this is the regime that can do it. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I do, bro. I do that all the time. Skip Kool-Aid, spike Kool-Aid. Literally every time I do this, I have to lock in, bro. I don't think I have, what is it, man? When you reverse stuff, like a legit diagnosed condition, but a lot of my typos are the letter will be in a different place. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, y'all fix that later. So, but I will answer your question though in a second. C Pool with the super chat says the Lions gave up a third to trade for Arnold. The three corners they passed on, Wiggins, DeJohn, and McKinstry, have become legit defense makers. You know what's crazy is they were clowning Kool-Aid in the draft. All right, so shout out to the big homie. All right, so we got the big homie, Bros Pros, with a super chat. He said, me and my friend pondered this, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this idea. What if we fired Brad Holmes and gave GM duties to Dan Campbell? Well, I think that is a bold, spicy take, and I talked about this a few shows ago. I actually do not think that Dan Campbell, and I could be wrong because a lot of people were wrong about him with the meathead and he's going to be a disaster and blah, blah, blah. And he's like a really good coach. It's a shame that he hasn't won Coach of the Year, and they gave it to two coaches. I think two coaches won it that are now fired. They won it with their respective organizations, and they got fired from those organizations. But Dan is still with his organization, but he's never won it. That just tells you the Detroit Lions. So maybe he is made for that type of life. I just don't think that he's made for that type of life. I don't. I think he wants to be with the guys. You know what I mean? Like, would he be better? I don't know, because I don't know how much input, how many of the decisions that are made on this team as far as personnel, not coaching staff so much, but personnel, how many of those guys are brought in because of Dan Campbell? Because see, I'm the reason I'm putting that on Brad Holmes is because Brad Holmes, in the hierarchy, he is in charge of Dan Campbell. Usually the GM makes the decisions when it comes to team personnel. The coach might have some input, but the ultimate decision is made by the GM. So that would be intriguing. I'm not going to say that Dan Campbell would be a disaster, because I don't know. I know that people don't give him the credit he deserves. And I think he likes it like that, because he can always come and take you by surprise, right? But as far as him being a general manager, I don't think that that's what he would want to do. I think he would go crazy being a GM. I think he would go crazy. I think he wants to be on the field. He wants to be in the locker room doing what he's doing. And yeah, we see Brad Holmes standing off to the side, but Dan Campbell being a former NFL player, he wants to be in the locker room, in the trenches. So could he be better? I don't know. I'm not sure. But that would be intriguing nonetheless. But thank you for that. Let me see. Yes, this dyslexia. I don't think that I have that, but I do battle with that. All right, so Cowboys release Logan Wilson. Oh, yo, I'm glad you said that, B. I'm glad you said that. Okay. All right. Hey, Fave, it took you all show to notice that? Bro, like literally every time I'm typing this, I do the same thing. Bro. I do the same thing, bro. Every time I type it, I literally have to, like, every single time, man. That is crazy. Good looking, though. Let me see. Dan would be more of the same Mr. Lock and Step. You think so? This regime is losing as Patricia was. Bears probably told him to screw over the Lions, and he's guaranteed the head coaching job. Wait, told who? Oh, Ben Johnson. Oh, Ben Johnson was at Bears HQ wearing a Bear suit, getting sworn in as head coach the day after we blew the Washington. Hey, Cole, was it? It was that soon, bro? Because when did we play? We played the 18th of January. That was a Saturday, right? Let me pull up. I think, you know what? I think you're right. I think it was Monday. Bro. Okay, let me see. January 18th, 2025 was a Saturday. I think he took the head coaching job that Monday, I believe. It was the same day? Okay, yes, we lost because because we lost on Saturday night. I want to say by Monday. Steven said same day. What's up, Steve? Let me see. Clint Kubiak took Seattle to the Super Bowl despite having an interview every week. Well, hey, listen. I can conspiracy theory this thing. Clint Kubiak was in the NFC. He went to the AFC. Now y'all see why I'm so okay. Now you see why I'm so mad about going in division. There is nothing you can say. As a man, fine, take care of your family. You're supposed to do that, okay? This ain't personal. This is all football based, all right? I don't know Ben Johnson. Then just stop acting like we know these people. I don't know Ben Johnson. He is a snake. As a coach of a division rival, Ben Johnson is a snake. That's it. I don't know Ben Johnson, the man. I don't care about Ben Johnson, the man. I care about Ben Johnson, the former Detroit Lions offensive coordinator. What are we talking about, man? So for me, oh, he took care of, no, I don't care about, I mean, of course I care about him doing that. That comes with the territory. Yes. Yay. Okay. And men take care of their family. Women take care of their children. You know what I'm saying? That's what, okay, fine. But now you see, because again, Ben Johnson, and we talked about this on the last show. Ben Johnson is a smart dude. And if you really think about it, the snake thing didn't just come from him going in division. If you really strip away Ben Johnson and look at what happened. And I don't know how we got on this, but very briefly, Ben Johnson. Oh, I'm in Carolina. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Oh, I'm in Washington. No, I'm not. Oh, so I told y'all, man, he knew what he wanted the whole time. Ben Johnson is that guy that okay, metaphorically, I'm using a metaphor. This is not real life Ben Johnson, because I don't want y'all. Ben Johnson is the guy that you'll work. You know what I'm saying? You got a lady at work, and Ben Johnson is the guy that was always there for the ladies, right? When a man was lacking, he was one of them dudes, but he was never there. You didn't know he was there. He didn't make it apparent to the ladies that he was there, but he was always there. You know what I'm saying? That's Ben Johnson. He was the one sneak dissing. That's him. Ben Johnson is a sneak disser. That's what he is. Ben went from 2.1 million to 13 million in a year. Imagine that. He blew it at least one-sided beatdown. I didn't even watch that Bad Bunny Bowl. Let me see. It's like real life. If you can get ahead in life, you're going to do it with regular job. People ain't going, have no loyalties. If they find a better job, that's how I look at it. I mean, but look, we talking about the NFL. The NFL ain't about it. Look, the NFL is not about loyalty anyway. It's not. It's not. It's about money. It's about money. So that's why I'm like, why are you? Oh my God, y'all want me to just be loyal to? Look, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. You know what they are? They're men. Okay. I got a metaphor for everything. The Detroit Lions are Batman. Okay. And if you watch the Christopher Nolan's Batman was about a symbol. It wasn't about Bruce Wayne. It was about a symbol. Literally anybody could be Batman, right? Well, of course you needed money, but Batman stood for more than just a man in a cape. The Lions are Batman. They are the symbol. Players, coaches for the Detroit Lions, they move on. The Lions don't. Not unless you're the Chicago Bears and you about to move to Illinois or Indiana, which is going to suck. Man, I want to clown them so bad. That's going to have a nice ring to it. I can't wait till that happens. Man, that's going to be something. So for me, I'm like, do we get attached to these guys? Yeah, because football is more than football. Think about this. That's why we love these guys, or that's why we can't stand these guys, because it's more, when they leave us, it feels personal, right? But it's not. They don't know us. We don't know them. We don't know them. But it feels personal because of what they represent. Let me see. Nuts, man, he avoided that money for one extra year to help. So I got love for Ben. Steve, you know what you like, bro? You remind me of a YouTuber I used to kick it with long time ago. And his thing was to do and say everything opposite what everybody else said. That was his thing. That's what you are, Steve. Steve is the guy that says everything opposite what reality is. That's Steve. I actually like the Petsing hire more that I think about it. His schemes for our roster and his numbers, given what he had to work with in Phoenix, were solid. Hey, that's solid, bro. Indiana Bears, that's gonna be funny. Hey D, do you ever mess with those mock draft simulators? Since you have some you have to sign up for, but others you don't. Not really, bro. I don't got time. Ain't nobody got time for mock drafts, bro. For what? I did a mock draft, and look, no disrespect to anybody that does that. I did a mock draft. Like, I would do mock drafts for content. That would be it. I do not care about a mock draft. Ooh. You know, it's just something about mock drafts that it's like months and months. You know what I think it is? I think it's the fact that I'm ready to see results. That's when I'm ready. I'm ready for on the field. The only thing that's starting to matter to me now is week 1 through week 18. That's the only thing that's starting to matter to me, because that's where all of this stuff, like, here's where I'm at, and we'll wrap up the show. I wanted to get one more segment. And this is why I think like the old irritation is coming in with me, is you got 32 teams. The odds are already stacked against every team in the NFL. Football is absolutely brutal. Everyone gets hurt. It has to be perfect. And when I see my team just sitting on their hands, it drives me insane. It drives me insane. And that's essentially what Brad has done. He's sat on his hands for 3 seasons, 3 off seasons. And now so we tried to do this. We tried to do that. We tried to do this. It's always we tried to do something. And he looked like Boo Boo the Fool. The whole team looked like Boo Boo the Fool in 2025. So give me the season. Give me the season. We did all that talk. I drove to Green Bay, no sleep, my fault, sat up there in them uncomfortable seats to watch my team get beat the heck down. They look like Pee-wee out there. They look like a Pee-wee football team. Micah Parsons coming out the tunnel. They going crazy. A big old bomber jet, the biggest jet I've ever seen fly over a stadium, flies over a stadium. The Packer fans are feeling themselves, and we out there looking stupid, bro. So I am like, that's where I'm at, y'all. And trust me, when I am no longer happy, I won't do this. Somebody was like, well, you need to just cover the Pistons. No, man, I'm going to do what I want to do. You need to stop watching. That's how that is. I'm over it, bro. I'm over all of this. Seriously. And I know that might be what y'all get sick of hearing and it's not because I want you to like I'm about to leave. Look, it's just tough. It's tough, man. It's tough for me I still love this team. But I don't know, man, the last 3 seasons, and it's not just like the NFC Championship loss. Like that was the hardest thing I've ever done sports related. The hardest thing. I had COVID. I was in the Bay Area, the most obnoxious fans in sports, right? And then all of that, it starts to catch up to you. So I think I'm wore down. I'm just wore down of, just like people who get worn down of me and my content. They don't watch for a while. That's fine. This team is wearing me down because to me, it just doesn't seem like that they're priorities. It just doesn't seem like they're the same, that winning is not their priority. Winning it all is not their priority. That's where I'm at. And for me, I need to, and you know what? I know that if you were to sign a dream team, we got the best 11 on offense and defense that the NFL has to offer. I understand that while we might go 17-0, you still have to go 4-0 in the playoffs. I understand that even with all of that, the odds are still against you. The NFL is like the lottery. There's one team every year, where every sport is like that. There's one champion. I just want my team to be in the best possible position to be that champion, which they've never been. Maybe I'll relax once that happens. To be fair, he never got any first team reps. The reason Brad gets away with it is because the slappy part of the fan base glazes him all day, so he feels he can do nothing wrong. Omaha Steak side of the fan base keep giving Brad and Dan infinite excuses. Well, you know what? It's their job. It's their job. And I'm not saying it's okay, but it's their job. This is my job, but I'm not gonna do that. That's what it is. It's their job. And that's why the Syndicate will never be, you will never see a Syndicate host that is not a fan of the team he's talking about. That will never happen. I will shut down the Syndicate before that happens. We will never hire somebody to talk about something else. They're going to have to slap this man into being aggressive. They're going to have to do something. But I'll say this, and we'll end the show, is I've been having thoughts about Brad Holmes not being here anymore. Like, I've been having thoughts about that and saying, you know what, Derek? I mean, who doesn't like to be right? People, of course you like to be right, but you don't want to be right when it feels wrong. right? You don't want to be right, even though the internet is what it is, and you got people talking out the side of their neck and all of this other stuff. And I mean, because all of this stuff is, the majority of it is opinion-based driven. But when your opinion turns out to be, like my opinion is based off what the Lions have done and what I see happening. And I'm not happy that I see a world with no Brad Holmes. Like, I'm not, because I really wanted to believe in this guy. What they did early in this regime had me excited. But you were just waiting. It was like that. You waiting to go over the hump, and it's like pushing a cart uphill, man. You just, for whatever reason, you got stuck at the top of the roller coaster. And it's just like, and now I see a world that Brad is no longer here and we don't have a Super Bowl. I see that world, and I see it very soon. I see it because, again, if you look at it, if you pay attention, right, you lock in. You ever seen a murder mystery and you can predict who the killer is, and then you'll see one where it just completely throws you off? It makes sense it makes sense, but you couldn't figure it out. And then the ones that you didn't know who it was, but how it wound up being that person didn't make any sense. That's how this is with me. If it's just based off what I've seen. The Seattle Seahawks, no one thought the Patriots were going to win the Super Bowl. Like, if you were watching the NFL, nobody thought they was going to win. Because you're like, yo, the Seattle defense is smothering. And even though, like, I was watching somebody and he picked the Patriots, I'm like, no, you didn't think, even with Sam Darnold as the quarterback, you did not think the Patriots were going to beat the Seattle Seahawks. You didn't think that. Why didn't you think that? Because they showed you why. The offense was working, right? But the defense is why you didn't give the Patriots a chance. Well, how were we able to know that? Because of what we saw, because of what this team was able to do to teams before them. They beat the Rams, right? That's what they did. They were what a first seed is supposed to be. But how did they wind up winning? Their defense is how they won. Jackson Smith did not have the best game. Now, of course, Walker did. But so all you need your offense to do is be sufficient. That's it. Defense wins championships. So I'm like, I see a world because, and this is why I'm so stuck on, if Brad does not move the needle, why would the Detroit Lions win a Super Bowl? Why? I want you to think about that all weekend long. Think about that. So that's why I said by the time the schedule release, I'll just put it there because that's in May. By the time the schedule release comes out, I will know whether or not Brad is the guy. And I'm going to make my final assessment. And I want to be wrong. I do not want to be right. I'm putting that out there right now. But anyway, there is one more thing I wanted to talk about. And I almost forgot about it, but we got enough time to squeeze in this segment. And I am wondering how you guys are going to feel about this. Let me pull this up, have everything together. But again, congratulations. How I'm going to do that. Thank you for 6,000 subscribers. And I hope y'all vibe with this new show that we're going to have, new segment that we're going to have. It does not include me, okay? Let me put that out there. Does not include me. Okay. Let's go here and... Okay, so what? Okay, I feel like something happened to him near the end of the... All right. Hold on, I'm pulling up his information. Man, you know what's crazy? Is how fast people can fall off. It's amazing. What up, Jay Smooth? You came at the end of the show. Says the Hard Knock stuff was what got me watching again in 2022. I quit watching football in 2015 when we got shafted against the Cowboys. Bro, you know what? I'm not mad at you because that was tough. That was tough, man. And think about it. YouTube wasn't even what it was. It was not what it was then. Now, right? Could you imagine if that would happen now? How crazy that would be. Okay, so what wind up happening to him? Okay. Mm. Well, I didn't know what happened to him, but now. All right, let me take a sip. Golf Gibbs, Amara, Waymo, Laporta, Panay Hutch. You know what's funny? You named 3 people on defense, bro. All right, Steve, receipts. Where are the Lions at the end of the year, bro? Or is it too early? This team is in total shambles. All right, so let's talk about it. And then I'll probably make a video on Lions Syndicate because I need to get one over there. 7-10. Wow. All right. Man, can you believe it's February 20th? Like, it's crazy, man. Spring is here in another month. And then, like, yo, it'll be the draft. Like, I don't know about y'all, but maybe it's because I'm watching the Pistons or because I'm legit detaching away from this team. Like, I feel it happening. I feel the separation starting to happen. And I'm like, so it's giving me, instead of, I'm just like, they got to show me, right? I don't know, man. It seemed maybe that the playoffs are over. Like I really didn't watch it. I watched the Bears to hate on them and to bring it back to Detroit. I watched the Rams to hate on them and bring it back to Detroit. I did not watch the Super Bowl for the second time in a year. I don't know if I'll watch another one until the Lions are in it. I don't know. Like, I'm starting to. Look, y'all, I wouldn't be concerned just yet, but I could feel like some change. You know what I mean? Like, if I told y'all I won't ever do anything for money. This is all passion driven. I could see myself one day just being done with content altogether about the Lions. All right. So let me go to this segment and then we'll wrap up the show. So the Lions are in need of they're gonna have to find some players. Off season is here. We have been on the couch for the last 7 weeks to be exact. And the off season is 3 weeks away. Like the new league year begins in less than 3 weeks. Free agency, all of that. We already know what the Lions are working with cap wise. Even with the increase, they're going to be over the cap. We have no money as of yet, but we're going to create that money. I have no doubt. Like, we have no choice, so it has to happen. And the Lions are going to have to bring some pieces in. And whether it's a needle mover, some depth is always needed. It's always something that the Detroit Lions and every team could use because you're going to be dealing with injuries. You're going to be dealing with other things. So you're going to, when it comes to depth, you're going to need it. It's about those starters that can really make an impact, but you would want a second tier player or something like that to come in and make an impact. But the news that came out today, or yesterday, I should say, was interesting. And I want to get you guys' take on this specific individual. Now, to put it out there, he's coming off an ACL tear. Fits right into the Detroit Lions. Don't get mad at me. I'm just stating the facts. Tim Patrick, others, is what we do. To be fair, a lot of teams sign people coming off of Achilles, ACL, MCL, those type of things. But this guy's name is not as big as it once was. He's hopped around or got traded to a second team at the NFL trade deadline of 2024. As a matter of fact, if my memory serves me correctly, because I made a video about it right before the trade happened, he was linked to the Detroit Lions back in 2024 at the trade deadline. Who am I talking about? Well, that would be cornerback Marshon Lattimore. According to Evan Sitterly, who's become a follower of mine, said the Commanders will release Marshon Lattimore ahead of the new league year, which means before that free agency begins, which clears an additional $18.5 million in cap space. Washington traded 325 draft picks to the Saints last year for Lattimore. So he meant to say last NFL season, or in this case, 2 NFL seasons ago, and back in 2024 at the trade deadline. It was one of the things, because literally I made a video about it, about the connection with the Detroit Lions, and then an hour later, he was traded to the Washington Commanders. Right now, of course, tore his ACL. He did that when did he do that? He did that in November. So it has been 4 months since that happened, or almost 4 months, and we've seen players come back from that before. Now, of course, we've got Terrion Arnold and we got DJ Reed as most likely our starting cornerbacks. But would you guys be opposed to Marshon Lattimore coming in on a 1-year deal? Allegedly, the Lions were interested at the trade deadline of 2024. I'm not going to say that I'm opposed. I'm not opposed to any bodies that can bring depth on this team, unless your name is Marcus Davenport. He's the only person I'm not dealing with. I mean, I'm reluctant for Josh and Levi. If I had it my way, they wouldn't be on here. But when it comes to depth, I'm not going to complain too much. It is that those starters and that I'm really worried about on certain positions on the Detroit Lions. So what was his stats in 2020? In 2025. So again, this is when he was traded is when we were interested. Now, one thing that jumps off is the health of this guy. If he can play, we knew what he could be. Now, he's been in the league. He's a little long in the tooth now. This is probably heading to year 9-ish, somewhere around there, or maybe 8. And as you can see, has not played a full season since his sophomore year, because I think in 2021 we had gone to the 17-game season. I think that was the year that we moved to 17 games. You can see here he played 7 in 2022, 10 in 2023. If you look at 2024, he played 7 with the Saints before he was traded. So I guess he still missed He missed a game here. He missed a game. He played 16, 7 with the New Orleans Saints, and 9 with the Washington Commanders. No, 2 with the Washington Commanders. So he played a total of 9 games. I think this is new that ESPN started doing that. Before, you had to look at it yourself. So he played 9 games in 2024 between 2 teams, and then 9 games in 2025. So there you have it. His market value, I don't think he has one, because he was just released yesterday, and it's not like it matters, because I don't see any market value with this guy at all. But would you be opposed? I'm not going to say I would. Does he have a market value? No, he doesn't. He was making a bunch of money, signed a contract, and I think he's a guy we've been looking at for a while. Again, I mean, when you talk about Legion of Whom guys, he not a whom, but he more like a who? Really? So I don't know. We'll see. Fits right in line with what Brad Holmes is probably looking at, somebody coming off an injury. And you know what? I think I get it now. I think I understand why he does that. I don't know what it's going to ever amount to, but I think I understand why he does it. If you get somebody coming off an injury, you're probably going to save some money. So this guy went from one of the highest paid cornerbacks in the NFL to cut by the start of the new league year. And he was making, his cap hit is $18 million. His cap hit is $18 million that the Washington Commanders took, and now he's a free agent. So would I be mad? I wouldn't be mad. I'm not going to do backflips, but I wouldn't be mad. I mean, like I said, we had guys, Avonte Maddox. You know what I'm saying? We had guys out there. We had Jags and Bags and everything else. So, I mean, would I be mad? Could I see Brad doing it? I could. And there is a connection with Dan Campbell and the Saints as well. So, wouldn't be surprised if it happens. But let me know your thoughts. Would you consider signing Marshon Lattimore? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Got everything. Let me see. You know what? Let me see. He was laughing and D sucking me at everything I said earlier. Scroll up. See what I'm saying? Y'all got to stop lying. Just keep him away from Mike Evans, though. D sucking. Wait, what? D sucking you, dude. I got many friends. I was just bringing Kool. Don't make this weird. Okay, what is happening? What is going on? I'm making segments. What am I missing? What is happening in the comment section? What is going on? You can see Jamel Dean over Lattimore. You know what, bro? I mean, like I said, so my thing is the connection with Dan Campbell, and the fact that he came up right as the trade deadline, because remember we traded for Zadarius Smith early in the day, and we were still like locked in, hoping, because we thought the Lions had two moves, and we thought maybe Aziz will be coming here or something. So I don't know, man. Steven, what is happening? Okay, I don't know. Maybe y'all can work that out in the comment section. But anyway, I appreciate y'all 100%, man. Let me see. This is how a Lions fan sounds to me. Hey, guys, I want to win, but I'm scared to make moves and let players go. I just love them so much, but I want to win. Help me. Steve, I don't know, man. I disagree with that. Because the guy in question you're talking about is David Montgomery. David Montgomery is not going to make this team win. Trading him is not going to make this team win. I think keeping him here is more likely than trading him. So I know that's what you're talking about, because that's the Lions really don't have too many people of trade value. And if they do trade them, are they going to bring somebody more valuable than they traded, than the guy that was traded? And as far as wanting people in, yes, we want people that move the needle. That's what I want. I mean, I understand depth. I understand that. But I want needle movers as well. And I think you have to have them. But what I love about this offseason is that Brad, I love the fact, man, that he got a guy. Like, think about this. I love this for AQM. I'm so stoked for AQM, because Brad went and got, and I think this is this is chef kiss. Brad went and got a guy that was literally a team vagabond, hopped around from team to team. We went and got him off the practice squad of the Colts, I believe. He earns himself another year in Detroit, and in that year has a massive a career year, as he should in a contract year. And in doing so, has now put the man who brought him in under pressure to sign him, because why? Al-Qadim Muhammad costs more than anybody Brad has brought in at the edge. I love that. I love that this man was able to take nothing and turn it into something, the biggest payday of his life, and use our team to do that. I love that, because Brad, he will pay his guys. And you've been here, and again, I think that you pay attention to things, and maybe it's because this is how I am, that I'm so good at this, right? But I pay attention to stuff like this, okay? I don't think that everybody can be lying unless they are conspiring against you to tear you down, to ruin you. Then, okay, fine. But what do we hear? If we go back, and I promise this will be the end of the show. If we go back and we go to when was the first time, somebody put in the comment section, let's see how locked in y'all are. Who was the first person that you can recall putting Brad Holmes on blast? It was a player. Let's see. I know I'm being vague. I don't want to give it away. Okay, so Gavin says he was cut from Dallas. Okay, so he was cut from Dallas before he came to us, because I thought we took him off a practice squad. What's up, Eagle? What's going on? Nope. Braylon got it. Braylon got it. All right, so go back to 2022. And see, when I start painting these pictures, y'all might be like, go back to 2022. Offseason comes. Lions miss the playoffs. Brad Holmes says Jamal Williams is a priority. What happened? Nope. We didn't re-sign him. But okay, cool. We didn't re-sign him. All right, things happen. Jamal comes out, says he felt disrespected. And we're like, so we're all looking at Jamal like, you're weird, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like that, but I know most of y'all, you ain't nothing. You was a merchant of the offensive line and blah, blah, blah. And yes, Jamal Williams was never the same. All right. But okay, that's not the point. The point is, he was the first person that I recall that put and I was just like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Wow. Brad Holmes is not, he's like this. Called him out. Then what happened? The following year in the free agency after that was done. So this is going into 2023. Now, 2023 comes, sign Dave Montgomery. The following year, what happens? Josh Reynolds is a priority. He said the same thing in the offseason. What happened? Now, I don't remember if Josh said anything negative about the team, about Brad Holmes in particular. But it's a couple things that ring true to me. It's like, I'm not a huge believer. Like, I believe in coincidences, that they're rare is what I should say. I believe that a coincidence is a thing, and it's at least how it's defined, and it is a rare thing. It happens less often than people say it does. So now you say, okay, Josh Reynolds is a priority. Now, your thoughts on Josh Reynolds has nothing to do with that. It's not about what you think. This is about what Brad Holmes said and what actually happened. So now, Brad Holmes, Josh Reynolds walks, right? Not in hear anything that he was talking bad about the team. Maybe he did, or bad about Brad. Maybe he did. I don't know. I might have missed it. So now, when Brad says somebody is a priority, are they really? Are they really a priority? So I'm thinking that there is some truth to how Brad does this. And you tie that back to David Montgomery. For you to come out and say what you... So I wouldn't be surprised if Monty is traded. I would not be surprised. And I will stand 10 toes down. At the moment I hear breaking news, the Detroit Lions are trading David Montgomery to blah, blah, blah for a this and that, I will start my campaign to get him fired. Every single video, every single time, bro. That will be the moment that I am done with Brad Holmes. I don't think Brad is the guy y'all think he is. But again, there's only one thing he can do for me to be wrong. There's one thing that we make a Super Bowl. That's it. That's the only way I'm wrong. An NFC Championship game ain't it. Ain't it. A playoff win ain't it. A division title ain't it. We make a Super Bowl, I'll give him that. I should put it on winning a Super Bowl. Since you said you trying to win in December. You notice Brad said I'm trying to win in December and not March. He didn't say I'm trying to win in February, not March. Y'all peep that, bro? I be cooking. We trying to win in December, man. Most people who got Super Bowl on the brain, and notice man, I could go on for hours. Because notice Brad Holmes with the press conference. I don't even be sleeping, bro. I mean, it keep me up at night. I can't sleep. I be thinking about dreaming about Sheila and the Super Bowl and bringing one. No, you don't, bro. No, you don't. Nonsense. You up there sleeping like you sleeping during free agency. What you talking about, bro? You would sleep at the trade deadline. You don't be sleep. You be up at night. Maybe he meant he don't take that. He wasn't talking about his naps. Anyway, I'm done. That's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great weekend. Go Pistons. Yeah, that's it. Free agency can't come fast enough because I need to see some change.
blowing, and I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, everything ain't pretty but it's love though. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah.